Hey kiddos, Mrs. Miller here, coming to you with the first official video book talk of the 2011 summer. I'm really sorry that I couldn't see you last week because I was just so sick. You can probably still hear it a little bit in my voice. One of you gave me a cold on the very last day of school, and I'm just now starting to feel like myself again. Hopefully by next week I will sound 100% better. But being sick has given me the opportunity to kind of laze around the house this week, stay inside where it's cool, and read a lot. I hope you've had a chance to laze around the house a little bit too, not too much, and read some good things. Remember, you can go to the Scholastic Summer Challenge site and log your minutes to help us win a world record, and you can go to the AR Test site so that you can earn some points to count for next year. Well, the book I want to talk to you about today is by one of my favorite authors. I read a book of hers last year, which was called The Compound, that was absolutely fantastic. And so when I saw that she had a new book out, I knew that I had to read it. And let me tell you, it does not disappoint. It's exciting, it's fast-paced, there's a mystery that's involved that you will never ever be able to guess the ending about. And so I'm excited to talk to you about it today. The book that I'm going to share with you is called The Gardener, and it's by S.A. Bodine, who also wrote The Compound. It's about 230 pages long, and it's worth 8 AR points. This book takes place in the present day, and it's science fiction, which is a little strange. You would think science fiction, space travel, a different future, but no, this actually takes place in modern day Washington State, which makes it all the more scarier, because this deals with a scientific process, something that's based in scientific possibility that, who knows, maybe could happen one day, and quite frankly, it's a little frightening and disturbing. Our main character is a 17-year-old boy named Mason. Mason is this huge, hulking beast of a boy. He plays on his school's football team, he's extremely intelligent, but Mason rarely speaks to anyone aside from his best friend and his mom. Mason's a really quiet guy, and that is because of something traumatic that happened to him when he was very young. At about the age of 6, Mason was mauled by his next-door neighbor's dog. It attacked him, bit up, scarred up his face. He was lucky to not have any permanent facial nerve damage, but it left him with horrible, horrible scars. And so Mason naturally kind of keeps to himself a little bit. You get to read about that horrific moment literally in the first 3 pages of the book, and you will not be able to get it out of your mind. Mason is a senior, and he has to make the decision as to where he wants to go to college. It's tough though, because his family is not very rich, so where he goes will depend on the scholarships that he can obtain. He really wants to go to Stanford, but it's so expensive that he needs to fill out a scholarship form. And one of the scholarships that he thinks he might be able to get is one from an institution called Trodyne, which is a corporation that does scientific research that's based in his community. His best friend Jack thinks it's a great idea, but Mason knows his mom would never, ever approve of it. Mason's mom hates Trodyne and all they stand for. Mason doesn't really know why, but his mom is very adamant about not letting him apply for the scholarship. Mason's relationship with his mom is a little strained. She is a drunk, and Mason often finds himself having to go down to the local bar and drive her home because she is too intoxicated to drive. Mason believes that he's a part of that his traumatic injury is what causes her to drink, and he also believes that it's because his dad left home when Mason was very, very little. Mason never knew his dad, and his mom really doesn't speak about his dad very often. The only thing that Mason knows about his father comes from a video that his father left behind. His mom showed it to him on the day of his traumatic accident when he was young, and Mason cherishes this video so much that he has burned multiple copies of the DVD, and he never leaves home without a copy of it in his backpack. whenever Mason gets stressed out, he pops in the DVD and it makes him feel better. The strange thing about the video is that it doesn't show his father's face. All it does is shows his father from the neck to his waist reading a child's book out loud. And the child's book is one that you may know, The Runaway Bunny. And Mason at this point in his life knows the story by heart because he's watched the DVD so many times. And this is all that Mason really knows about his dad. So when the story begins, Mason is going to where his mother works, a place called Haven of Peace, which is a nursing home. And he's going to try to convince his mother to fill out the scholarship form, and he's also going to confront his mother about something he's found in her file cabinet in her office at home. It's something revelatory that he did not know about his mother, and he's going to confront her. His best friend Jack has snuck him into the nursing home, giving him a uniform and a name tag from somebody who works there, and Mason has made his way to the 6th floor where his mom works. And the part I'm going to read to you today comes from that moment where Mason finds out what his mom actually does for a living, which was very different than what he originally thought her job entailed.